Good morning, everyone. We are live. I hope everyone's well, surviving from how and whatever's going on in your world. You know, we're all so similar. Oh, sorry, Barbara Ward. I didn't want to do that. There you go. We all have our lessons we're learning, if that's the correct way to put it. I was sitting this morning and talking to Mother Mary and discovered she was just talking away. And I don't know if our opening will do that, so I want to share with you that when people pass and want to come back, they're in a room called sleepers, and they have flowers like energy on their pillow that the devas are there waiting for them to wake up, so that, it's all about consciousness. Like we've been working here together a lot on how to heighten our consciousness. Well, even once when you go to heaven, that's the same thing, more so than even here, because that's what's necessary for you and Mother Mary to decide whom and where you're going, who you're going to be. So there's some called sleepers who just want to sleep for a while. They're tired. But then there's others that resist it. And they're in a different room, and it takes a little bit longer to have them get to the place where they move to the sleeper room so they can be helped. So just letting you know, no matter where you are in this human world, and then as you move into the spirit world, it's about feeling and understanding your consciousness and having it become the understanding of who you are, versus earthlings tend to believe that they're who they see in the mirror and how it's come to be that they work out in this world. That's who you are, how you identify yourself. So we can go to the seventh dimension real quickly to those who now have formed into conscious groups and have lost the individual identity. For in true reality, it's not necessary. And even like here on YouTube, groups that are alike form together and aren't aware that they're supporting each other on a higher development of who they are. But it's all a fascinating thing, I grant you. So first, let's call Mother and Father into your heart. And when I say to you, try to feel their energy. See if you can allow it to expand out into your energy field. And I truly mean it. It's a part of growth. And I would say the most interesting looks I get during a healing or mentoring is when I say you have to develop your relationship with God. Well, I can't even put into words the look I get, like I'm asking them to jump on earth for 20 feet or something. So sitting here in this space is perhaps the best option you have to begin to hear, to choose to listen, and to have relationship. Because if you have a desire to grow, that growth isn't going to come without them. That ability to truly hear isn't going to happen without them. And it's not that hard. It's a choice. So somewhere inside the consciousness, there's a resistance, a hesitancy to even believe that that's true. And it was interesting. Mother Mary said to me today, by her sharing her visit of Gabriel to tell how her and Joseph would be given a child, wasn't shared except to her mother for a long time, which her mother saw happen and could help believe her. But today, it isn't always that even someone who can hear spirit is confident enough to say, I do. And yet I understand that there's a part of you that wants to work on it being true. There's many pretenders, that's what I like to call them in my school. Pretenders that allow the ego to have a voice. So just there's so much to it about studying, being devoted, putting your time in. So in the end, you have a clear voice and a clear dedication. Good morning, Dorothy Snyder. Glad to have you back. So for a moment, I want you to think about your path. And as we're sitting here in Mother and Father's light, how comfortable is that for you? And can you possibly share? Can you allow Father to put his hand out and let you touch it? Or have Mother envelop you in her arms? This isn't a far thought. It's only a desire for you to have it occur. But what you will do is have a transformation. Excuse me. But a transformation who you are is guaranteed on the path. Because who you may have come into this world as carried karma and distortion and parts of you that for whatever reason, perhaps for your family, you had to bring it forth and to learn from. How? By experiencing it and making a different choice and forgiving yourself. But then there is the time when Mother and Father can simply touch you. That's why we talk so much about thought. And as long as you have thought, Mary told me that when Jesus would come in when he was younger, and had a bruise on his face or elbow that was hurt, she thought she would tell him, we can either give empowerment to the bruise on your face and the pain in your arm, or we can give it to Father knowing it's all imperfection. And that is how he began to learn above and beyond what he was born with, which is a clear, pure consciousness. And how he maintained himself over time is another great lesson is don't give empowerment to others who don't know you. And even if you think because they're family, they know you, they still don't have a ability to put words of prayer and light to who you are. That is for you to discover and for you to know. Today, I think a lot of people go into a reaction. If it's not something that they believe, then they take it on. And that's how that spot happens. And then you go down a different road until you learn and discover that. So I think the discussion I'm sharing with you from my discussion with her today is decide who you are and what you want to remember and become again. And as you do so, take notice of how you allow that part of you to live in your world. I know myself in the beginning, I had a lot of judgment. And from being a mother, let me shut this off. To holding light. And it took people a long time to realize that I wasn't changing back because it wasn't the change that they thought I made. It was about a belief inside of me. And that to hold that and be that and become that, I had to present myself that way. So hiding in the closet is not the way. It's not possible or feasible for those who want to commit their life to it. So Lauren has come. Hello, everyone. Tension-filled morning. trying to release and welcome healing, life, and peace in my life and family if possible. And what we can all say to her, we know it's possible, it's a choice. And that part of you that needs to make that choice is ready and willing. It may take strength against the outer realm that you're in and how that looks and what you've sowed in that field of family or well-being or not. But Mother Mary was very clear that we tend to not own our capacity of life is wonderful, that God brings us everything we need. And I do have some students that are beginning to live that and wish they had believed me a long time ago. But timing is perfect. There's always lessons that are being learned as you choose to perceive differently, feel differently. But again, I'm going to remind you why we're having this conversation today is to reach out to Mother, Divine Mother, and Father and have that relationship. They're more than willing. They're waiting. And yet, isn't it interesting how we tend to think sometimes, well, they can't possibly want anything to do with me, and you're completely wrong. They love all the spirit that come, and as Mary expressed to me, you come with your consciousness of spirit, and together you talk about what your goal is in this life to do, to be. And she helps formulate that energy to help get you there. Now, let's recognize, yep, you're still a choice. You have to hold that light. You can't be purity in that day you see Mary and then go down a trucking road or whatever somewhere else, because it'll bring you back. You know for yourself already times where oh, yeah, I better get back to that which I didn't do. And you think now, well, if I'd only done it then, I wouldn't be where I am today. So let's see, Monad 8880. Hello, TheoSophiat. It's first time viewer. I am presently working with the Sophia. Babaji is one of my guides. It is very lovely to meet you. And may I ask, how did you meet Babaji? And I don't know of TheoSophia. So add anything you want. But nice to have you here and welcome you. And Babaji first came to me in Thailand. He came into my room when I was doing a long meditating retreat. So I'll share. And I was not born Sophia. My name is Cynthia. And I started meeting people who tell me that I fell into sin to become Thea. So when I met Douglas, my name had become Thea. And then when I met Portia, she ran to me and put her arms around me. Oh, TheoSophia, I didn't think I'd ever see you again. And that's how I knew I was the goddess of wisdom. Portia was there with Saint Germain. They are cosmic couples. So now I'm going off on another tangent. So anybody who wants to share, just please speak. So we start with that, bringing father and mother in and sitting with them and feeling that energy, because at that point, whenever it is that you become aware of who you are, that's the first connection you want to have and empower them. Let me blow my nose and let me see what Mona had said. Oh, he appeared to you in a vision long time before had the internet blessing Cynthia. I have been a long-time light worker. Very nice to have you into our group. We are a group that kind of is starting to go all around the country. So wonderful and good morning, Barbie, to you too. So the next thing we want to begin to do is call in all the angels, archangels. There are so many different labels of angels today. And know that most beings of higher light are also angels. So they're not separate. They're some things they do, the angelic self will do, some things will be their master ascended self. Good. So certainly all the ascended beings are welcome to come. We know that every day they don't all make it. But there are those who are in a prospect of teaching that show up, especially those that govern the first 7 chakras, are those who are wanting to be here to be of service. If someone's having a difficulty in a certain chakra and you don't feel comfortable bringing it up in the group, then you can ask for the ascended master of that ray, that chakra, to come in and they will help you. Oh, you're from Ireland, the Emerald Isle. Green ray, how about that? Of the heart. Very nice. Now, it's Portia, Mother Mary, and Saint Germain Joseph. There are so many tales. I'm not even going to begin to try to answer that. I didn't discuss that with her today, but we'll see if she shares that since you have brought forth that question. Oh, yes, please remember to hit the thumbs up button. And I forget to even remind everybody anymore. And we all thank you for coming because it helps the channel to have more people. So tell your friends. All right. Then we always call in the universal beings. Only, and there's a requirement because they must be on their journey of light. And now I have some great destroyer angels around the group that if for any reason someone attempts to come that isn't on their path or holding that pure essence of their consciousness, they're not allowed in. So you can always feel safe here. And always protected. But we're also going to know that everyone can also say the tube of light 3 times. And then we're going to call up to Lord Gautama Buddha and his protective blue flame and have it be in the outer 5 inches of anyone's here, any individual, and our group's energy that nothing can pass through. So I would say that's pretty good. And thank you, Barbara, for the thought. But I'm going to just speak what's coming to when I ask your question. You must understand that people like Portia and Saint Germain, you, anyone else on this side, have been many people. It doesn't give a qualification to their ability or the love they hold or anything like that. It isn't important, they're going to say to me. It's the greater importance is to be willing to hold your light and your truth in relationship with mother and father and have clarity on that love and that journey that you want to be on and not to worry about anyone else. It's a lesson from right in the beginning. For we don't know who you are or who you've been. I didn't know who I had been right away. And teachers and those who know can't tell you. You must discover yourself. My situation had a number of people who gave me a hint, and I always could feel something else was coming. But Portia was not supposed to let me know who I was, but it happened. We went on from there. So, most importantly, it's for you to remember the light. And that's really what we're about here. TheoSophia Rising is helping everyone rising into a higher consciousness. I feel like my voice is going very soft. Let me just see where my strength is here. Okay, so if I'm too loud, you can turn me down on yours. So why don't I give a moment to Mother Mary. She was here, and I'm sure she'll be right back. And she'll have a talk, and then we'll see if she's willing to take questions. And I want you to have a thought about, for the first thing I hear from all of them is, so often your questions aren't really pertaining to your growth. You want questions answered about the human life, while we're here attempting you to understand your path of light, if that would be understanding. She's willing to talk about those questions that help you on your path. But let's say if someone's pounding two frying pans together, she can't help you with that. Okay? All right. Sweet, blessed souls, if I could only but for one moment take you back with me to that moment when Gabriel came through the window and the immense amount of light I was not able to move. And then when he spoke, it was like chimes swinging in a chapel. But yet I understood. It was myself and he, and it was profound, and I will never, ever forget it. But I'm here today to say to you, those moments perhaps are awaiting you in your deep connection with God or Divine Mother. It will begin there. I lived a path where God was in every breath, in every step I took. There is meaning to every grain of food or liquid I drank, to be of service to my beingness, to be alive and well for Him. So much, you can see, has been lost throughout time and years, and yet the quality of that which is and still perhaps necessary, if I may use that word, is still surviving. Are you aware of what you eat and drink is supportive of your light or not? Are you aware of where you lay your head is supportive of that truth or not? And are you aware of those you meet and share life are part of your lesson of light? So, I know it is overwhelming. I know it is so much. But the word dedication comes to me, and I remind you of 3 years after the life of Mary as Jesus' mother. I sat holding thoughts for wherever it was I was to go next. Thought until no one could have ever had me shudder a distance away from it. It was long, but I knew that which would come in the end would give me a greater freedom to be the light I yearned to have, to become me. So, in the world you live in today, there's such a great love that so many are not capable of even knowing or teaching or feeling or breathing. It is such a soft, soft pink love. And where do you find it? You'll find it inside the heart, where the soul moves in the development of its consciousness and grows. How do you love yourself today? Do you wish to give yourself forgiveness? Do you wish to know the light that's meant to be radiated throughout the world from you? Yes, there too were many of us when we were all in that evolution, and perhaps you were there, but once we went to the sleeper room, and it just wasn't enough yet. There is no judgment in those words. It is how it is. It is how it still is. So, love, what can I give you for an understanding of a great love? And I believe I can say to you that when there is love, hear me, for there are no words necessary. The heart has come to where it feels. So words dissolve when there is simply love. The look in the eyes have the ability to radiate that love, that feeling. The feet know how to walk in love, gently, almost that you can't hear it. It is not secretive. For from that person who is in love or living love, it is a magnet, and it will draw everyone to you. So the next task is to be able to retain that love, be that love, as others come into your circle of consciousness. Yes, quite the lesson. So many I could give you. And let's begin simply. Let's contemplate Mother, Divine Mother, and Father. How much love they must have held together to not only with thought, but to ignite the new forms of our existence. Just contemplate for a moment. Just contemplate. And since then, the world is in a wholly different way. All that comes along with a new child. Christ was a pure conscious spirit. So it is this we wish to bring to new children. And their gifts are there. They need not find them. For as Jesus, the young child, he knew. He knew he had a greater wisdom of his father and mother within him. And he spoke that way. So as I share with you, my friends, I ask you, what are you looking for? Are you looking for that love? First, find it from Mother, Father. In your journey to discover and yearn for your consciousness to become a greater light, they will respond, and there will begin a new unity. One in hope that will never end. I remember the time when a doubt came to me. Father came to me and he knew, Mary, are you sure? And I saw it within me. It was in my throat. It was how I chose to speak about something. And together we took light and dissolved it. Yes, Father, I'm sure. You see, you discover the gifts you hold in your development, in your evolution, in your growth to bring the world into a peaceful place. And at this point, I wish to say, in a place of love, may this world be love to one another, to brother, sister, to mother, father. That would be the greatest fulfillment of that which mother and father are hoping and intending to have happen. I'm always near my children, but it is a dedication and a readiness that you must seek for within you. For I am always ready to support you. Now, any thoughts, questions? The one thought I did get as she was leaving a tail of light, she was not Portia. And to understand that, let's see, where are you? Lauren? You'll have to understand what she said, that she is the love of mother and father. Portia, her energy is much different. Perhaps not of that purity in this world yet, I do not know. But very good. Any thoughts or questions while she's close? Nothing. Well, I had planned to speak also Thoth today, who we have learned is the wisdom inside our hearts. And as always, he wants to give a lecture. For he, of course, says he is the wisest of all. And is that so? Do we know? So let's see. Well, it is as I say, and you know what I do. I am of wisdom, of course, in each and every way. One sometimes doesn't match to another, But then I find the way, and in unity we become. Yes, I'm going to interrupt because I see your question, Barbara, and he's encouraging me to answer it. Her question is interesting to hear that she was asked if she was sure she wanted to accept that mission, and there is always choice. Even from the first moment, there is always choice. Much as I am, sometimes people would say, overpowering, there is choice for you to choose to hear me or not. For I am the wisdom, and they can think of the world and all the wisdom and how powerful that would be. Yes. Then you maybe can begin to understand me. For yes, I'm still growing like that. I do not sit yet to God, you see, for there's always more for me to see. I am a busy, busy, busy bee, and I wish it no other way, you see. I have accepted that mission right here, right now, today as before, so I said. So, question for me, someone from Thoth. All right. Takes a moment to type. Sometimes it's better to use your thought. All right, let me finish with thought and I'll go back to some of these other questions. Well, once again, I have come, and today I leave a grain of wisdom. Free? No, nothing's ever free for sure. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes dedication and many, many years of study. But if anyone's willing, I have one grain of wisdom for you to add to yourself. But if you let it fall away, it'll be gone, and it will not come back. It will go to another. So, are you ready? Are you prepared? One grain of wisdom. So, TheoSophia, it's time for me to go. I'm a busy bee. Not again. All right. He's a funny one. All right. Well, I hear you, Lauren, but that, you find your word, the frustration, and that it's hard, and it's your humanness. And there's a place when you can sit and work with the intention of moving into the heart. That's not where the heart is. The hardness and the frustration. It's in that humanness and that experience around you. And I don't know what, mother, how can I get along with Alexander? Well, my suggestion from her, I can hear immediately, is you must get along with yourself. You have an attachment that says your acceptance depends upon him, and it is not so. You must accept yourself. You must love yourself and find that proper way of existing in your world that's in peace and harmony within you. That is your journey. It is about you, just like everyone here. It is about you. Your integration with Mother and God. You're very welcome, Barbie. I felt her energy is just so peaceful. Let me see if there's anything up here on this. Saint Germain, I do not believe was a lot of different people, because it took him 70 years upon the earth uh, to get the vow of flame to be approved. So my husband would know more about that than myself. I haven't really studied at length for him, but I will see if I can ask him and find that answer out. He talks about a lot how he would go to a lot of meetings and try to convince them that he was real. He would go behind a screen and come out someone different every time. It was very hard in the older days to have people believe. Not that it's so easy now, but let me see, there's new people here. The grain of wisdom that he brought today was given to whomever was the highest prepared for it. I have no idea. I did not ask. But I could see it. It was in his hand. And hopefully you all understood that if you desired that, uh, there is a journey in life that goes with it of dedication and seeking. You just can't be on wisdom. You have to develop the ability to have that wisdom. Who is your son? I don't know what that means. Sorry. Let me know. Thank you, Monad 8880, for coming today. Instead of an S, it's C. Cynthia. Great. I wonder if you are a Skywalker. I hope you enjoyed it today, Dorothy. Come back soon. There's more thoughts here. Yes, there was such a contrast between Mother and Thoth in terms of their energy. Both powerful messages and both talking about dedication in our practices. Well, that is spawned by your desire. So if you haven't tapped into Father and Mother to know, it's meditation, working with chakras every day. Oh, yes. Thank you. You got it, Dorothy. Remember the good old days in Pennsylvania, right? Yeah. All right. Well, they're just like all of us. They're unique and different and have a different purpose. He has a humor with him. Some of them do. But you could still feel the love he held and how precious everything was to him. Even that small grain wants it to be taken care of, or if not, it will move. So wisdom is a powerful thing. You don't want to take lightly of it. All right. All right, so I'm going to go late. Many blessings. I will see you all Monday. Have a great weekend. And who knows what's in store for us. So do your meditation. Do that simple thing of reaching to Mother, Father in the heart and see if you can feel them and begin to hold that energy and feel your consciousness change when you do. That's what it's all about. Oh, Alexander is your son. I see. Thank you, Monad 8880. I appreciate it. Yeah, everyone, we all wish you a great weekend. And on top of all that, we wish you all precious love. Call Mary to you and she will bring you a beautiful pink shawl. That's what she calls it. To calm you, to love you. All right. Mr. Tim, any message for me for you from Babaji? You gotta come on a Wednesday. Wednesday's the day I do messages. So that would be confusing for everyone if I gave you one today. But what you can do, if I can move, you'll see in his eyes and he'll give you his message. Or he's alive on that poster for almost 30 some years now. He's been there. Oh, I don't know if I said that. Maybe you mistook something. Tuesday is messages, you're right. Today's Wednesday. Monday we talk about healing, and it's kind of getting deeper and deeper. No, I just did Thoth is Father. Thoth is wisdom. May the blessings. Bye-bye.